Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We will start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan. Felicia from Malaysia.
Ajahn, my practice is still good. I don't have question at the moment. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, keep it up.
Okay,
Don't stop.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. To Malaysia, Kit Yenso from Penang.
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening. Yeah. So far, no question, Ajahn.
Okay. We'll go to Jordan. Are you back in Toronto, Canada, or are you still in Virginia?
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm still in Virginia, but I'm on my way back. I had to stay in a hotel last night because my bus was canceled.
Mm-hmm. At the temple, at the monastery, do you have any electricity?
Yes, there's an electric. There's a light and a heater in each of the kutis. A lot of the main buildings are heated with wood, though. Actually, all year round, the water is heated with wood as well.
I see, and the electricity comes from the line, or it's from a generator?
I'm sorry, I can't see you, but the electricity. There are solar panels on the kutis.
I see.
I don't know if there's any connection to the main kind of grid.
I see.
No.
Okay, just wonder because it's quite far away from the communities, and it's in the forest.
It is. It's very quiet. People have to come a long way to visit, so that's a good thing, I think.
And there's no power lines going to the monastery, I presume.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. So it must be self-generated in the monastery, whether by solar panel or something else.
Yes, solar panel and just there might be. I don't know if there's any electricity generated from the wood heat as well, but.
But you have lights at night. You don't have to do anything. Just turn on the switch and you got it.
That's right. You just have to turn on the switch, and I think there's hot water as well. So for showers, which is it's probably important because it gets pretty cold there in the winter.
I see. Each individual kutis have a bathroom?
No, there's one main sort of bathhouse, and then there's another smaller one on another part of the property. There are a couple of outhouses as well, because it's the kutis are spread out throughout the forest. It's a very large forest there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. You get the seclusion you're looking for.
Exactly. I remember you gave me a few things to look out for in a monastery. You said a place that it's quiet, where there isn't a lot of traffic, a lot of people coming in and out all the time, and some place with a good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has all three of those.
You find you stay productive?
I did. I felt like it was all I think I understand how to practice for the stage that I'm at. So I think I just need a place where I can get down to the work. And I found it was a good place to practice. Yes.
Besides the morning meal that you gather for, is there an afternoon refreshment gathering also?
There's a gathering every day at 8 p.m. and Ajahn Dick and the monks and lay people all get together in the sala, in a small room in the sala, and there's a pana offering that's prepared with some nuts and chocolate, just a little bit, and sometimes the lay people get to have some of that, but not much in the way of afternoon pana.
In the afternoon, you also have one in the afternoon.
No, sorry, it's just the 8 p.m. one.
That's before chanting, and you have chanting.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yes, after the pana. Well, during the pana, it's also a question and answer time, and sometimes people talk about different news that they heard, and after that, there's chanting, and there's a chanting book for Forest Dhamma Monastery, and that goes on for maybe half an hour, and then we meditate for about 40 minutes, and that goes so that all of that goes until around 10 p.m. and then people can go and practice on their own or go to bed.
You find that meeting helpful to your practice?
Well, I'm just sort of getting comfortable with everyone there, and with with the teacher. So I was a little nervous to ask a lot of questions, but I got to meet with Ajahn one-on-one a couple times, and that was better for me. It was easier for me to ask questions then. But I think the monks really appreciate those meetings because they get to hear Ajahn answer other people's questions, and sometimes they say it helps them too.
How many monks were there when you were there? When you're there?
I recounted. There are actually 6 monks and the Mechi.
And no other male lay follower?
There are three guys who have been there for, well, 2 of them are candidates. I guess they're set to ordain in the springtime, and then there's one layman there who's been there for 2 years, and he's not planning to ordain, as far as I know.
So there's four male lay practitioners.
Well, 3 who are there long term,
and 2 temporarily. You and the other guy.
No, sorry. There's the 3 that have been there for a long time. Two of them are going to ordain in the spring, and then I was just there for 2 weeks, and a couple people came and went while I was there. So people come and stay for short periods of time. One fellow showed up who's going to stay for a month, and he was just at Wat Metta before then.
Do you have any food giver that comes in the morning and just come for the giving of the food?
There are some regular lay supporters who show up at different times and bring a lot of food, and some who just come randomly, and I guess they receive dana, donations, money, and the long-term lay supporter there, he goes out and brings groceries back, and we cook. The lay people cook in the kitchen there and then offer it to the monks.
So you mainly rely on the food cooked in the monastery for your food?
Yes. They have the same, they make a pretty similar meal every day, apparently. It's good, healthy food.
Okay.
They do pindapat. It's more sort of, I don't know what you'd say. They don't receive a lot of food because there's just one neighbor that they go to visit, one very dedicated neighbor who who gives Pindapat every
every day.
Saiblat every morning. Yes,
There's only one house.
just one house. Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
how
they go
long-
every day.
How long is the distance from the monastery to the house?
Well, I didn't go on the Pindapat with them, so I'm not sure. I think it takes them about half an hour,
Half an
40
hour, so-
minutes.
So not too far.
Not
1
too far,
mile.
just down the road. Yeah.
I see. Good. So you're leaving pretty soon now.
Yes, I'm on my way back to Toronto. I just had a couple interruptions with the bus being canceled. So now I have to take a train. So leaving Virginia this afternoon, and I'll be in Toronto tomorrow.
So
And I'll be in
and-
touch with Ajahn Dick, and he's going to give me a list of Dhamma Youth monasteries in Thailand, and I might ask you about that, the monasteries on that list as well when I get it. But so I have to decide in the next little while whether to come back to Forest Dhamma and stay there long term and try to ordain there, or whether to go to Thailand like my original plan.
Okay. Good to hear that you are planning to get ordination.
Thanks so much, Ajahn.
Hope you will find the right place for you.
Thank you so much. So I don't have any questions in
anything-
particular.
Okay. Just good to talk, just to
It helps keep me on the path to meet with you every week. I really appreciate it.
okay. Good. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Okay, I'll go to
Thank you.
Titima from Bangkok.
กลับนมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์ Don't have any question today ค่ะ
Okay, go to Malaysia, Kafai Lim.
Good day to you, Ajahn. No, I have no question for now. Thank you.
Okay, how about Gok Seng from Singapore?
Good evening, Prajan. Just to update you, I just returned from a short meditation retreat at Palilai Temple. I opt for the stay out option, meaning that every morning I will report at the temple, and then evening time, then I go back home. Yeah. And every Monday now I think it's part of my routine now to eat dana for the bhikkhus of Palilai when they go on Pindapat at the marketplace there. Yeah, just to update Prajan.
Good, keep it up, keep your practice. The more the better, okay?
Thank you, Prajan.
All right. Go to California, Stalin, on West Coast, USA. How are you? Can you hear me? You have to unmute your microphone first. Okay.
Can you hear me, Ajahn? Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. No, I just want to add a few words about Ajahn Sriratana's monastery. I have been there. It's on top of a hill. It's a very nice monastery. I was there for a couple of days talking to him, and he always give a chance. In fact, he gave me 3 hours of his time talking Dhamma with him. So I just wanted to add that. It's right on
Good.
top of the hill. And Sheila, I have some questions to ask.
Go ahead.
Hello, Ajahn. I just wanted to know now, when we recognize anicca, the impermanence, right there we see the anatta also, right? Because impermanence itself shows shows that the emptiness there, no, when it dies, when it begins and dies away, then there you see that there is no one there, right? So the anatta is seen right there, right?
You should see dukkha also. If you see one,
Yes.
you should see the other two.
Right. Because if you hold on to it, then it is dukkha, right?
Dukkha. If you don't, then you don't get dukkha.
Right.
Because you know something that is anicca is anatta, because something you cannot control.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can either see one of whichever one you want to see. You can look at anicca, or you can look at dukkha, or you can look at anatta, and they all linked together.
Together, yes. So so whatever that comes through the through the senses,
Yes, are all anicca.
right. But if you only hold on to it, that that the tanha grows, right? I have noticed when I let go, the tanha gets reduced, and then when you're mindful all the time, that tanha that you had for whatever particular thing gets automatically, you just lose interest on that, and then whenever you come in contact with it also, you don't get disturbed by it. So is it correct to first let go and then know that you reduce the tanha by that?
Yes, because you know they are all dukkha. If you have anything to do with them, they will bite you sooner or later.
Right.
Because they can be snatched from you anytime,
Right.
anywhere.
Right.
And that happens, then you will get sadness or dukkha, losing something you like.
Right.
So you have to be constantly mindful of this nature of things, so that you don't get sucked in by your attachment or your cravings, your tanha.
So the peacefulness that we have is because we meditate every day, right? Because also from knowing that if you hang on to the self that we believe, that we think only, right? The self that we think is there because we see this body, because we believe in that now. So when we let go of that, we live in the present moment only, then there is the peacefulness of not having to always react because you think you are, right? The think you are is our ego, right? This ego that makes you react to defend yourself, right?
Yes, because truly there is no self. There's just a knower, not a self. A knower just merely know.
Right.
So you go back to your original position, which is just merely know, rather than reacting to what you see or hear.
Right.
Just merely see, merely hear.
Yeah. Because I remember you saying to someone there in the forum, make sure the peacefulness that you feel and the calmness that you feel is true, whether so I was wondering whether it is because I'm meditating every day and my mind stays calm and peaceful because of that reason, or because I know that there is no one here and it's always our self, the thought that begins with me there is when the thought comes, each time we contact the world, when the thought begins.
You need both. You need meditation to keep your mind calm and happy, and you need the knowledge to remind you that there's nothing, there's no self, there's nothing in this world. Everything are just natural phenomena. They come and go of themselves by themselves. We cannot cling to them or keep them with us forever. So we
Right.
just have to let them come and go as they like.
As it arises, you just let it, you just watch it and let it go.
Yeah. Don't rely on them for happiness. That's the whole thing. People people who's not knowledgeable in the Buddha's teaching don't see that everything in this world are dukkha. They think everything in this world as being source of their happiness.
Right, right.
So they go after them. And instead of getting only happiness, they end up getting suffering with the happiness they get also.
Yeah. Thank you very
Yana
much.
Magana.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
So just stay calm with meditations to keep yourself happy. And then every time you have any tanha or craving for anything, you just remind yourself that they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Dhanajan, can I speak?
Sure, go ahead.
Actually, this capital I, which you know, it is nothing but a what do you call? It's nothing but a mind-made thing. Can be very nicely observed when you are at a high level of samadhi. When nama rupa disappears, you can see that the chitta, which is only present at that time in different forms, maybe as a lustrous or luminous chitta, that you can see the knowing there, rather quote unquote, I can observe the knowing without capital I being there. I am not there, but yet that experience is there. But there is no experiencer, but there is the experience. Or there is no knower, but there is that knowing. And there is no capital I. And then you can come to that conclusion that as long as Nama Rupa is there, there is this capital I being present. And when the Nama Rupa has disappeared, together with it, the Vinyan also has disappeared, there you see that there is nothing but other than the Chitta, but in a different form. Maybe it's not a pure Chitta, but still the Avijja Chitta. And that is the only thing that remains, although the Nama Rupa disappears.
Yes, all that left is the mind that is knowing itself, knowing that everything else are just all gone.
And also it gives you the definite, there is no doubt for you there, because you can see that if the Chitta can remain without the Nama Rupa to whatever period of time, then obviously rebirth is a possibility, because Chitta can remain there without the Nama Rupa, take up position in another Nama Rupa, because once you come back from that samadhi, or rather when the samadhi slowly disappears, then the Chitta comes back to your normal self. So therefore that idea of it, that rebirth is not a possibility, no longer acts on you. That rebirth is a definite thing that can happen. That insight also comes to you, and that it is the 5 hindrances that you have suppressed, which has brought about the disappearance of Nama Rupa.
Your voice is not coming. Are you speaking, or are you just waiting for me to reply?
Are you waiting for me to reply?
Yes, very well, sir.
I see. Well, when you meditate to the point where the mind becomes still, then all mental activity cease functioning temporarily. Then everything that arises from this mental functioning will all disappear, including your defilements. But they don't disappear permanently. When your mind start to reactivate, start to function again, then the defilement will be the one that will be pushing your mental activities to go in the way of delusion, to think that there's me, there's I, there's the body is mine, so forth again. And this is where you will have to use vipassana, the truth, to counter this delusion. Right? That there's no self in the body. The body is just merely a composition of the four elements. And there is no self in the mind. The self is just created by the nama khanda, sanya and sankhara. So you just have to counter this delusion with the truth.
Then also you can look at the body as a bunch of phenomena that are occurring all the time.
It is a work of nature. The body is a work of nature, like a tree. A tree is a work of nature. A tree grows because there are the four elements combined to make it grow. So is the body. Without the four elements, the body cannot exist, cannot grow, cannot come into existence.
And are the four elements really verbs than nouns? In other words, is it when you say patavi, solidity, not solid, are the verbs that have been affected solidity, liquidity, heat, and so forth. So aren't those phenomena rather than, in other words, aren't they verbs rather than nouns? These are all phenomena.
They are both. They are noun and they are also verb, because they interact with each other to form the different parts of the body. From the 32 parts, the hair, the skin, the teeth, and so forth, by the combination of, which you can call this as a chemical reaction.
And
chemical combination, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen combine and then create all the different parts of the body.
And also you can look at the body during contemplation as formed by various phenomena that is occurring, like the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the urinary tract, and so forth, that all these things are acting doing specific functions, although they are specific, but they are yet interrelated, because if one function disappears, then the rest of the functions come to an end. So you see that it is nothing but multiple processes that are occurring, which we try to put it as a capital I, a solid thing, but changing all the time.
Yeah, it's just like, the interaction of these four elements that form all these systems in the body, digestive system, circulatory systems, and so forth. But they are all the work of the four elements. And we constantly have to feed the body with the four elements to keep it going. We have to keep breathing to bring in the wind element. We have to drink water, liquid, to keep the body going. We have to take in the solid element, the earth element, by eating food. And we have to maintain a certain amount of temperature to keep the body warm. So this is all work of the four elements. So there is, and we have to look at the body as a system of four elements. There's no self, no body. The mind just happen to come into connect with the body, and then can tell the body what to do. That's all that the mind can do, is to be able to tell the body to stand up, to walk, to do things. But the mind cannot control the system of the body. When one day when the system starts to fail, the mind cannot stop this system from failing.
When you look at it medically also, you can see the dependency of the body, the dependency on different various systems. And there also you can see the dependent origination as a result of it, because it's a determined state, it continues to change.
You just want to look at the body as the nija is changing from birth to aging, sickness, and death. And it's anatta, no self in this body. You who use the body is not the body. You are the mind, which is another form of element called knowing element.
No definite entity, changing all the time.
Yeah. So you want to teach the mind, the knowing element, to have the right knowledge of the body, and the body is not the mind, and the body just is something that the mind depend on as a tool or instrument for the mind to be able to connect with the sensual objects. That's all there is. That's the purpose of having the body, as far as the mind is concerned. The mind needs the body because the body has the 5 sensual organs: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, which can then access the 5 sensual objects: the forms, the sound, smell, taste, and object, which the mind crave for. See, so that's what the mind wants from the body. It's just the 5 sensual objects.
Yeah, because the Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, and Vijnana are conditions of the Chitta. So therefore, they are subject to the Anicca, whereas the Chitta is not, because it is not born, not determined, therefore it is permanent.
It's just one of the permanent elements, like the water element, the fire element, the wind element, and the earth element, and the space element. These things, they are not changed, they are not formed or destroyed. They're just there. But they can combine with other elements to form people, human being, animals, and so forth.
The four elements themselves, they all have to come together to go through the process, right?
When they come together, they create things like trees, plants, and if they connect with the 5th element, which is a knowing element, and then they have this human and animals.
Right.
But they are all anicca. They form and then eventually they will then dissolve, disappear. The 4 elements will separate and return to its original form.
So then we have to learn to keep the mind mindful and in the right manner, so that
knowledgeable. Always look at the body as just a 4 elements.
Right. Seeing it as only the 4 elements.
Yeah, and then one day this 4 elements will separate.
Right.
Then the body will disappear. Like ice cream. When the ice cream melts, then the ice cream disappears. It turns into liquid. Yeah.
Right.
Like a block of ice.
Yes, like a block of ice. Like bubbles.
Right. Yeah, the thoughts are also like bubbles, right? It just appear and disappear. I remember the very first time when I went into where the mind, there is only the knowing factor there. And then suddenly I remembered where is me, and then sort of, you get scared at the very first time, you get scared and you want to come out. And you feel the moment that thought comes, then you lose everything and you come back. I remember that. It was so, when you look back, it is really,
I think, yeah.
it's
Okay.
really fun.
So
Okay.
you got your answer for today?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
please. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Ajahn.
Okay, nice for you to come in. Good to see you again.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Hope you keep coming in. Give us
Yeah,
more.
Ajahn. Things have changed in California weather-wise. It's very hot here. We never got a temperature of 90 during October, but it is.
That's the
now.
heat element. So you're living with the heat element, and you cannot control the heat element. Sometimes it's intense, sometimes it's not. You just
But
have to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Ubeka.
But I don't think, Ajahn, that you experienced 90 degrees in California in October at this time. I don't
No,
think so.
I didn't remember having such. It's only during the summer months, August, July, August, and September. That's when it gets very hot in Fresno, California.
Yeah.
It goes up to 100 degrees, I think. I remember.
Yeah, at that time. Yeah. But now, even now, it is around 98 and so forth.
It should be 50 or below, or 50 in Southern California by now.
Exactly.
We are planning to go to Abhijato in Northern California.
Apagiri, Ajahn.
Ajahn Amaru is coming there.
Okay.
Ajahn Amaru, who is the abbot of Amaravati in London.
He's coming there.
He's coming there.
So
we thought
we'll
we'll go
go and visit there and meditate a little bit and come.
Good, good. Okay. All right. Enjoy
Thank
your
you very
trip. All right.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. Go to Colorado now. Must be cold or hot in Colorado. Julia.
Hello, Ajahn. It's a mixture of hot and cold, always changing. Thank you. I'm just listening and learning, but so happy for the people that are going to ordain and going to non-residential retreats and going to Ajahn Amaro at Abhijato. It makes me happy to hear about these things and to have access to the teacher here online where we can ask the questions and learn.
Okay, good. You keep coming in. It will inspire and energize your mind to keep on practicing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Be well.
I'll go to Alvin now from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm just listening in. Thanks. But no question. Thank you.
Go to Dubai, Apalachita.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yes. Yes, no questions, but I wanted to thank you because, of course, I did write to you saying my dear cat Pure passed, and I felt sad for sure, but I also felt it was a very experiential moment of a lot of what we have been speaking.
Yes, you're experiencing the truth. Before we're just talking about the Four Noble Truths.
Exactly.
But now you experience the truth itself. You experience dukkha, and you see the cause of your dukkha is because of your attachment or your craving.
Yes. And also, further than that, I think I also noticed how starkly clear it is that whether it's the cat or me or anybody, it's not the body. It's like, I think you can verbally say it many times, but seeing different.
Yeah, you have to see the real thing.
Yes, it's totally different.
Yeah. Good.
And yes, so thank you. It was a very deep understanding.
Yeah. The Buddha instructs monks to go visit the cemetery And during ancient time, they kept the corpse in the cemetery, so you can go look at the corpse, and then you can then really see what the body is like without the mind.
It's truly nothing.
Yeah, it's just a composition of 4 elements.
Yes.
The mind goes disconnect from the body at the time of death, and continues on with their good or bad karma.
Yeah. And I suppose I also feel more determined to look after my mind states and not be sort of slack in my way of being in the world.
Yes, the mind is the most important thing. It's the one that the things that count. Everything else doesn't matter really. They're just supporting actors, but the main actor is the mind.
Yes.
The mind goes on forever. It doesn't matter how it goes, good or bad. And we can do it when we're still alive. We can send the mind to a good place, or we can send it to a bad place.
Yes.
So if we follow the Buddha's teaching, we will send the mind to a good place. Avoiding doing all evil action, do only good action, and purify the mind. And the mind will eventually go to Nibbana, where there will be internal peace and happiness for the mind forever, without having to come and bother with a new body anymore. Because with every new body, you get aging, sickness, and death along with the new body.
That is completely, truly the noble truth. There is aging, sickness, and death.
Yeah, it's just around of rebirth, aging, sickness, and death.
Yes.
Until we reach Nibbana, that's when we will stop this round of rebirth. Just keep studying the Buddha's teaching and try to apply it in your practice.
Yes.
You'll stop your cravings. Once all your cravings are stopped, then the process of rebirth will stop.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right. Maybe Leo is taking a human birth now.
I think so.
If all his bad karma has been expired, then maybe it's time for him to return as a human being.
Maybe. I have goosebumps everywhere. So yes, maybe.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Good talking to you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Switzerland, to Bill, Professor Ken.
Afternoon, Ajahn.
Any questions tonight? Yes. Speak a bit louder though. Your sound is a little bit soft. Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, yes, much better.
Okay. Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question. It was something that somebody asked me actually that I wanted to pass on to you. This person has studied a lot of Dhamma, the books by the meditation masters, like the biography of Ajahn, the Patipada, and so on. And he also has started a meditation practice, Samatha Bhavana. And he told me he's not sure how to begin the contemplation of the body. So if Ajahn could give some advice regarding the first steps in that direction.
Well, meditation is divided into two levels. The meditation for calm and meditation for insight or wisdom. Before you can go to the second level, you first have to master the first level first, which is the meditation for calm. You should concentrate on stopping your mind from thinking in order to bring it to full calm, entering into the jhana. Because without the jhana, the mind will not be strong enough to stomach the truth of the wisdom of the vipassana that we have to study I study corpses, study the 32 parts of the body, study the death of the body, and accept this truth. So it's, for beginners, it's not important to worry about vipassana yet. But they can do that on the spare time if they like. But they should concentrate most of the time on stopping the mind from thinking, using the practice of mindfulness, either using a mantra or watching the activities of the body as you go on your daily routine, your daily life. You want to keep the mind in check. You don't want to let the mind run loose, thinking about anything it wants to think. You have to force it to stop thinking and just focus on a mantra or focus on the body's activity. And when you have the time to meditate, then you sit down and close your eyes. If you use the mantra, you can continue using the mantra as your meditation object. Or if you use the body as your object of mindfulness, when you sit, then you switch from the body to the breath, which the breath is part of the body. You just keep watching the breath in order to keep the mind from thinking about other things. If you can stay focused and watch the breath, eventually the mind will come to a standstill. It will stop thinking completely. And then you'll find peace and happiness and equanimity from that state of mind. Then if you can do this, try to do this as much as possible. I mean, try to keep repeating doing it until you become very proficient, until you can tell your mind to calm down anytime you want. Once you can do that, then you can go up to the next level. You can then study the nature of the body. Because the body right now is your most possession, your most precious possession. But you have your attitude toward the body is wrong. Your attitude toward the body now is to think that the body is you. And once you think the body is you, you become attached to it, and you want it to last forever. So anything that will threaten the existence of the body will cause you suffering or dukkha. But you have to study the truth of the body that it's not going to last forever. The body will be subjected to aging, sickness, and death. So this is the first truth of the body you have to learn to accept. And that the body is not you. You're just the mind who come in to connect with the body. So you want to protect the mind from suffering, from stress. You have to learn to accept the truth of the body. By constantly reminding yourself of the mind that the body is temporary, anicca, impermanent. It's going to get old every day. With each day passing, it will become older and older. And with old age comes sickness and eventually death. But you're not the one who dies. You're not the one who get old, get sick. You are the mind. So what you want to do is to learn to let go of your body. And the way to let go of your body is you must not rely on your body for making you happy. Right now you rely on your body to satisfy your craving with. You want to see, you need the body. You want to hear something, you need the body. You want to eat something, you need the body. You want to drink something, you need the body. So you must switch your way of having happiness from using the body to meditation instead. Relying meditation for your happiness. If you can be happy without having to use your body, then you can it will be easy for you to let go of your attachment or you're dependent on your body. Okay, so first you need to calm your mind and make your mind happy through meditation. Once you can be happy with meditation, then you can teach your mind to ditch the body, to give up the body. Because one day you're going to have to give it up. And if you're not ready to ditch it, when you have to give it up, you will suffer. You will have stress. You will have depression. You will have anxiety, worry, and so forth. But if you don't have to rely on your body, then you can just easily give it up because you can be happy without the body because you know how to make your mind happy from meditation, from mindfulness, from stilling your mind. So first you have to learn to still your mind, to make your mind. First you have to know how to make your mind happy without having to rely on the body. Once you can do that, then you have to study the nature of the body to see that you cannot rely on the body forever. The body will have to eventually die. And if you still rely on the body, when you have to lose the body, it will be immensely sad for you, or tormenting, or stressful. But if you don't rely on your body anymore, then it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't bother your mind at all when you have to lose your body one day. So it's up to him. He can think just the simple basic truth that body is aging, sickness, has to go through aging, sickness, and death. And trying to somehow convince the mind to accept this truth on the intellectual level first, maybe. And then maybe eventually accept on the experiential level when you could actually come to experience the aging, sickness, and death of the body. In order to be able to do this, you must have the happiness from meditation so that you can then actually give up your body when you have to. Does this okay to you? Sound to you okay to explain to him?
That was very clear to Ajahn. I will pass that on, and also the link to the recording later.
Yeah, the Buddha teach people, Buddhists, that we should contemplate on aging, sickness, and death every day. At least we should not forget the truth of this body, that it's going to get old, get sick, and die. And it's just merely a formation of the four elements. You are not the body. You're just a mind who's connected to the body. You're the user of the body. But you have to stop using the body because one day you're going to have to lose the body. So try to switch your source of happiness from the body to the mind, to the meditation, to mindfulness.
Okay.
That's why we have to practice mindfulness and meditation. So we have an alternative source of happiness. Once we can be happy with meditation, then we don't need to use the body to take us to go to a movie or go to listen to music or to drink or eat something. Okay.
Okay, that's very clear, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll go to who next? Scott from Mansalay. Hi, Scott.
Good evening, Ajahn. Thank you. I saw you on Saturday. I came along. I was a bit too shy to come and say hello after you spoke, but I was there for the duration. So thank you. It was good to see you in person. Now I understand the protocol and how it goes. I'll be more confident in coming forward. I felt a bit of I felt very there while it was all going on, but I felt very awkward because everyone else seemed to know what was going on and I didn't, if you know what I mean. I have my practice, but it was new, but I picked up on what is and what isn't. So one thing I wanted to bring to you is, I've mentioned it before and I've seen other people talk tonight about health. I've just come through cancer. I'm 18 months cancer free. I have 6 monthly scans and my next scan is at the Queen's Surrogate this coming Monday. Now, the mad thing is when I have this stuff going on as regarding as an appointment in the post, there's a consultation in the post, there's a surgery in the post, there's a treatment in the post. My meditative practice actually gets better. It's almost like it's like a distraction, being in the present. It's when things aren't happening that I find myself distracted from my meditation. It's almost, and I don't want chaos. I don't want to create havoc. I don't want, but when there's the world around me is a bit of a storm, I seem to be a lot more comfortable. And I've spoke to, let's call him my mentor for a better word. I'm in 12-step recovery. And he said, because I come from a world of pandemonium, chaos, havoc, mainly caused by myself, I can sort of like, I'm on autopilot. I can just do that stuff. But when there's nothing on, it's almost like I want to shake it up. Like the snow globe at Christmas. So what it is when, now I know I've got this consultation and scan on Monday, and I don't get the results the following Thursday. I'm not sitting there biting my nails. I'm not rocking backwards and forwards. I can't wait. I can do all this. I'm in a breeze. It's almost like I've just flicked a switch. I'm in cruise control. The meditation comes easier. Being in the present comes easier, and everything else. But I just want to understand that I don't want my life to be chaotic all the time. So when it's actually calm, why can't I be calm? But I can only be calm when it's not calm. Does that make sense?
Well, when you are calm, then you don't need to do anything. You don't have to make it calm. But when you're not calm, then you have to do something to make it calm.
And I don't understand. I don't intend to sabotage. I don't intend to do anything to make things worse. But when everything is actually calm around me, it almost feels like I want to do a snow globe with it and shake it up. But when it's a snow globe naturally, I'm calm within that, and it's my mechanism, my default.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, because when nothing bad happens, it makes you complacent. So our goal here is to try to be ready for the unpleasant eventuality that will come. If we don't do it now, when it comes, we might not be able to cope with it. Like,
I've got a friend of mine back in the UK at the London Buddhist Centre in East London, and he said to me, "You have fight, you have flight, but you also have a situation where sometimes just put your seatbelt on and sit with the feelings instead of running with them or running to them. Sometimes, and I think that's what it is sometimes just putting that seatbelt on and just sitting with the nothingness. That's what I, let's just say, struggle with."
yeah, the goal is to train your mind to remain calm and in the face of whatever happens to your body. Okay, so
But I'm in good spirits regarding my health. I am, I won't say overconfident or cocky. I've just basically, I have been doing everything I can to meet this in the middle, and we'll see. And this Saturday, I intend to come along, weather and car permitting, and I will come and say hello to you in person. So thank you.
okay, all right. Thank you for coming in. I'll go to Brazil now, Sao Paulo, to Alfredo. Alfredo,
Hi, Bante.
how are you?
Fine, thanks. Meditation. Life of meditation.
Yes. Ubeka, equanimity.
Yes. Yes.
Ubeka means no love, no hate, no fear, no delusion,
Yes.
no emotion. If you have Ubeka, you would have no emotion. You don't get angry, you don't get any, you don't become greedy, or you don't hate, you don't fear anything. You just merely acknowledging, knowing things that happen to you or to anybody.
Yes.
That's the best position for the mind to be in, because in that position, the mind will be peaceful and happy, regardless of whatever happens to the body or to anything. This is where we want to stand on Ubeka. We can get to Ubeka with mindfulness and wisdom.
Yes. The knowing is only in Farjana, né, Bante?
Well, the knowing is always there, but it's only obvious when it's in the fourth jhana. When it becomes obvious. When you can see it clearly when it's in the fourth jhana. Before that, some other thing will block it from being seen clearly.
Yes.
So just keep doing mindfulness. Try to stop thinking.
Yes.
Focus on your breath, or when you sit, focus on your breath or on your mantra. And when you're not sitting, keep watching your body. Don't let your mind think about anything unnecessary.
Yes.
Think only when you have to. When you don't have to think, stop thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is so difficult to enter in for jhana, Bhante? Why is so difficult?
So difficult. It's because the mind never stops thinking. See? The mind constantly thinks from the time it gets up to the time it goes to sleep. Like an automobile running downhill without a brake. So if you want to stop the automobile from running down the hill, you have to put on the brakes. And the mind keeps thinking because there is no brake. You have to put on the brakes. The brake is mindfulness. If you start to use mindfulness, then you'll stop the mind from thinking. Then when it stops thinking, then it can enter into jhana, into the fourth jhana.
Yes.
So try to use mindfulness all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Either reciting mantra or watching what you do. What's your body doing? Well, every moment, every instant of your body movement. Don't let your mind go away somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but next week I will do a surgery.
Do a what?
Cirurgia.
See, what is that? Meditation?
No, doctor.
Doctor,
Hospital.
Hospital. Okay.
Cirurgy.
Okay.
Hernia.
Hernia. Okay.
Hernia. Yes.
You can have an operation.
Yes. Operation.
Surgery.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, wish you well. Hope you recover from your illness.
Oh yes.
have a safe operation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. See you next week, or maybe not.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go to Indonesia to Willie.
Good evening, Tanajan. I want to ask about the fifth precept. I want to ask about the fermented food or drinks, because they will contain a certain amount of alcohol, but if we consume it, usually it is very small chance that we will get drunk over it. So does it break the precept if we consume those fermented products?
Well, there's no exception in the precepts there, so it's better just not to eat them if they are fermented.
Okay, so although I mean they have a lot of health benefits and the alcohol amount is small, I mean just avoid it, right?
Yeah. If you want to keep your precept pure, so it's better just to avoid them.
Okay, so
Because
any alcohol.
it might lead to some other excuse next time. Maybe a little wine doesn't matter, Maybe a little beer, a glass of beer might not be. Before you know it, you'll be drinking.
Okay, and what about the fruits? Like, for example, durian, if it is ripe, usually it will contain certain amount of alcohol also, right, Tanajan?
I don't know. You have to find out for yourself.
Okay, so but if let's say we know that the food that we consume contains certain amount of alcohol, we just stop consuming it, right, Tanajan?
If you want to be be pure with your precept.
Okay. Okay, I see. Understood. And another question is about sometimes we can't always consult with the teacher if we face any problems or doubt in our practice. So I want to know, like, if there is any rules of thumbs that we can refer back to if, let's say, we face any problems or doubts in our practice, Dhanajan, so that we can solve it by ourselves.
You just temporarily suspend it and wait until you find somebody you can consult with.
Okay, suspended. I mean, is if, let's say, we don't have any access to the teacher yet.
Yeah, then you just wait until you get to the access to your teacher. In the meantime, you continue practicing the way you used to practice before you get to this problem.
Oh, okay, I see. So, I mean, we still have to consult teacher, right, Dhanajan?
Well, unless you eventually find the answer for yourself, maybe it takes a little bit longer for you to eventually be able to crack the problem yourself.
Okay. So is there any like kind of frame of work that we can try to solve the problem with?
Well, just try to look at from different angles.
Okay, so like for example, just if, let's say, we don't know what to do or we are not very sure, then just stop thinking and then go back to Buddha. That kind of
Just
trick,
say
or
put it away for a while, and then later when you come back and look at it, you might see it in a different light.
okay. So I mean, we can always rely on the mindfulness itself. Is that right, Dhanajan?
Mindfulness and your ability to think rationally.
The wisdom part is
wisdom part.
difficult usually.
Yeah,
Okay.
but eventually, if you try, the Buddha had to try. He couldn't find any teacher to tell him how to get rid of his dukkha when he's not in meditation. Eventually, he discovered the cause of his dukkha was his craving. So you just have to try like the Buddha. The Buddha looked for teacher for answer, and no teacher could give him the answer. So he eventually had to find the answer himself.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just keep trying. If, let's say, we don't have any access to a teacher yet.
You can access the teaching of the Buddha. Just use the three characteristics, the Four Noble Truths. The answer in there, just a matter how you. These are the tools to solve your question, your problem. It's a matter how you know how to use the tool or not. That's all.
I see, I see. But I mean, that's the key things to refer back to.
That's right. That's the tool that will solve all your mental problems. The three characteristics: anicca, dukkha, anatta, and dukkha, samudaya, magga, nirodha, and magga. These are the tools the Buddha used to solve all his mental problems.
Okay. Okay, understood, Dhanajan. And what about if, let's say, we have to take any decisions or action?
If you're not sure, then don't take any decision.
Okay.
Just remain in the status quo.
Okay.
Until you're sure
understood.
what you want to do before you may decide for you.
Okay, so just
someone asked Ajahn, I think a monk asked Ajahn, should I stay here or should I go and practice alone? Ajahn said, if you stay here, it's better than going away, then you should stay here. But if you go away, it's better than for you to stay here, then you should go away. If going away or staying here is the same, then you can either stay or go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Dhanajan.
Just try to think simple. Sometimes we think too complicated.
Yes.
Just think simple. Think of the consequence of your action. What's going to happen when you do this or you don't do this. That's all you have to think about.
Okay. And if we are not sure, then just stay
just
put.
Don't do it. Yeah, just stay put.
For time being. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Tanajan.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah. Thank you.
Go to Philip from Malaysia. Philip.
Evening, Ajahn. I mean, this session always, it always answers my question even before I ask. This is regarding aging, sickness, and death. I think a couple of days ago, I mean, I usually do my practice 8 precepts once a week and things like that, which I have quite a fair bit of meditation session. I think during maybe one of the sittings after I had a few sittings before that, while I was getting calm, concentrating on the breath and things like that, there's certain rush of thoughts that started coming out. I know I shouldn't have been thinking, but it kept on repeating itself: aging, sickness, and death, aging, sickness, and death. And it couldn't. I mean, I couldn't maybe fight it away. I just let it flow. Aging, sickness, and death. It lasted for the whole sitting session. That it almost became like a mantra. Aging, sickness, and death. Aging, sickness, and death. Perhaps maybe prior to that week while I was practicing, maybe I was contemplating on aging, sickness, and death. Perhaps that was maybe the trigger that could have actually brought up that repetitive mantra or a thought that came up during meditation. So in that instance, if that comes up, should I just try my best to just ignore it, go back to the point of meditation, or is that a contemplation that that one can continue to do?
Well, it depends on the result or the effect on your mind. When it keeps your mind calm and peaceful, then why not? It's just another form of mantra.
Okay. Because I mean, at that point, I mean, I was neither agitated nor happy, nor sad, nor it's just
okay. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Yes. Then you can use it. It's just another form of mantra.
Okay. Nor frightened or anything. I mean, it's just
Calm your mind. Calm your mind.
Just calm your mind. Just knowing.
Good. Good. You have found your own mantra. We all have our different mantra, personal mantra that we can use for our practice. So this is maybe something that suitable for you. But if you find that even though if you want it hasn't yet reached jhana, you might want to stop and switch to watching your breath. If you feel that that's how far it can go, in as far as giving your mind peace and happiness, but not yet totally calm, then you might want to try using the breath. Because I think the breath is usually the main vehicle that will take you into jhana. The others are just more like a supportive vehicle. They might try to calm your mind first before you can watch your breath effectively. Clear your mind from thoughts that you're still stuck with. If you use this mantra, you might stop all these thoughts from disturbing your concentration. And you might then be able to use the watching of the breath as your next move.
It usually happens. I mean, if I were to do a few sitting sessions, and as I told you before, the senses starts to withdraw and gets cut off from the world. I have actually experienced before that when I've gone into a bit of a longer term meditation, that after coming out from meditation, I can't even drive. I can't even drive. I mean, I can't even engage the motor sessions. Those things I can't remember for a while. Yeah, I mean, the best I can describe to you, Tanajan, is it's like an athlete, maybe doing shooting an arrow, everything just blanks off, and then he sees into a single point of, everything just shut off, the noise, everything like that.
Yes, that's when you become absorbed. That's what we call jhana. Absorb into something, one thing. So you want to be eventually to be absorbed into nothingness, to emptiness, when everything else disappears from your mind. If your mantra cannot help you get there, you might want to try using your breath. After you feel your mind is calm enough to watch your breath, just keep watching your breath at the tip of your nose.
So continue doing it, Tanajan.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, we'll go to Piralia from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no question today. I just keep practicing at home, but I know as a lay person, it's a bit hard to practice at home. But yeah, I try to.
Yes, occasionally if we can go to a monastery, we should do that also. Because it will help boost your practice.
Okay.
In a quiet, if you stay in a more quiet surrounding, it will make your practice easier and better.
Okay.
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 All right.
Yeah, thank
Great.
you.
Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm just listening and learning. No questions from me tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Belinda also from Singapore.
Tanajan, I'm able, like this moment now, I'm just putting attention back to the breath as well as listening. That's all.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Stay calm, stay peaceful. All right, we'll go to Vancouver, Canada. Check and Sri. Go ahead, speak. Can you speak?
Hello, Tanajan.
Ajahn?
Okay. Anything? Any comment or any question?
I like Ajahn Man's very logical way of solving problems.
Yeah, simple, isn't it? But it's very profound.
Yeah, it can be used to solve any problem.
Everything. But the problem is you don't know which is better. That's the problem.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, what if I don't know?
Then you must be dumb. Then you cannot decide for yourself what to do. Then you must be told by your teacher, by someone who's smarter than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, what if I don't know the, and then, yeah.
If you don't know, then you have to stay with your teacher.
So you also have to be smart then.
Yeah. Think for yourself. If you cannot, then you need to stay with your teacher to learn more before you can decide whether it's good or bad for you.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just have to try it, just go and do it and see what happens. And you find it's bad for you, then you can always come back. Then you don't want to go anywhere anymore after that.
If we don't have the wisdom, we have to walk the very long road, Ajahn. If we have the wisdom like Ajahn Mount, you know right away which one to choose.
Well, sometimes you have to do it by trial and error, like the Buddha. He had to do it by trial and error also. If doing this thing doesn't work, then he has to do something else. Trying to fast for 49 days and it didn't work. So he has to change and instead sit and meditating and without getting up. Yeah.
The Buddha is so determined, Ajahn. He's so
Yeah,
determined.
you need determination if you want to walk on this path.
Mm.
You have to be resolute, not wishy-washy.
We have to be determined to find the answer.
You're not vacillating back and forth. What should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Determined, resolution, resolve.
Yeah.
That's how it will get you wherever you want to go with determination. Without determination, you probably will end up staying where you are. Okay, no question.
Tatajan, when we meditate, we focus on breath, but at the same time, like sometimes the thoughts are coming out. So
use a mantra like Philip, use aging, sickness, and death, aging, sickness, and death, or something, or chanting.
Yeah.
To compete with your thoughts. See? Then after a while, maybe your thought will then diminish, and your mind will seem to be calm enough to watch your breath. Then you stop chanting, or stop reciting, and then keep watching your breath. Or you can do both at the same time, if you like, at first, and eventually stop reciting and just watching the breath alone. Try. There are different methods you have to try. Different combination. It depends on your state of mind also. Sometimes your mind is calm enough to watch your breath, and you don't need to do any chanting or reciting. But sometimes your mind is quite busy with your thoughts, and you want to watch your breath, then you need to do some chanting or some reciting to calm your thought, to slow your thought.
Okay. And Tanajan, can the mind at the same time focus on the breath and know the thought? Can the mind do that? Like, or just
Yeah, you can recite. You can recite Bhutto, Bhutto, and watch the breath at the same time.
Yeah.
If you can think and watch your breath, why cannot you recite Bhutto and watch your breath?
That's why I'm asking you.
Bhutto is just another form of thinking.
Yeah.
But it's a positive thinking. It can stop the mind from thinking endlessly. It's the thinking that will stop thinking.
Stop thinking. Yes, I think I think you answer my questions. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you do it? Okay, I answer your question now. No? It's time for you to do it and tell me how it works for you. Okay. You never report your practice. You just keep asking me all these questions for months now, and never say how it works. Never tell me once. Yeah, this thing works. This thing doesn't work. It's probably mean you never apply what I taught you or told you what to do. The next time you ask me more questions.
Yeah. No, I don't have any question. But thank you.
Okay. We'll go to someone who doesn't ask questions but tell me. We'll go to Dr. Piao and Indira. Piao, what do you have to tell me today?
We had a Thanksgiving weekend. It was good.
Canadian Thanksgiving was
Yeah,
yesterday.
one month earlier than American Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes. And so we would like to thank you and to show our gratitude for always being there for us and guiding us towards.
And so we thank the Buddha. We had actually a nice Dhamma discussion at a friend's place, a sutra discussion, which was good. Like a lot of question and answer. So that was our Thanksgiving.
the way to thank them is to practice. The Buddha said, Patibat Bucha.
Yes.
If you want to show your gratefulness to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, keep on practicing.
Yes.
That's a gratitude
Yes.
you pay.
Yes. Pratipatti puja.
Yeah, Patibat Bucha. Or Amisa Bucha. If you cannot Patibat Bucha, then do Amisa Bucha.
Yes.
Amisa Bucha means dana,
Giving things. Yes.
giving things. Giving things to the monastery, support the
Yeah.
monastery, support the temple.
Yes.
Whatever it needs. If it needs kuti, if it needs something to use, for dwellings, build kutis or build houses or build salas or whatever, that will maintain the monastery. This is considered to be Amisa Bucha. And Patibat Bucha is to practice meditation.
We're trying to do both.
Good. If you can do both better, but eventually you have to choose one or the other because they can interfere with each other. Anything?
Really, not much. I think I really like the answer to Professor Ken. You talk about the body, like it was very, very clear how to start body contemplation and without relying on the external senses. I think you meant here the 5 senses, because our 5 senses are the ones that we are relying on most of the time, like outside meditation, but within, like once you get to you switching off the 5 senses, I think you rely on the mind sense for kind of happiness and self-relying system within the mind and peaceful happiness, right? But the 5 senses are really not giving any information at that point. So you're switching from the 5 senses to relying on different sense, the 6th sense, which is the mind at that stage.
Yes, you rely on jhana to keep your mind happy. And this, you don't need the body. You need mindfulness to keep the mind into jhana. Once you can do this, look at those who have jhana. They tend to be They tend to be meditators. They don't go to socialize with people or things anymore.
Yeah. So seclusion, I think they rejoice on seclusion.
That's right.
Because they know that is the best food for the mind, and it nourishes the mind, and really all others are junk.
Safe for the mind also. Doesn't cause the mind any suffering.
And it's free.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of hard work to get there.
Hard work. Nothing comes easy. Yes, hard work. Once you know it and it's there, right? I mean, it's not a very complicated process, I guess.
Once you know how to do it, then you can do it all the time. Like swimming.
Exactly.
Once you learn how to swim, you can swim all the time.
And within it's working. Once it works, it's a matter of the technique at the beginning is tough to. I mean, you have to do a little bit of tweaks here and there, experiments. What works for you? I mean, the basic technique, you have to stick to the basic technique of the Buddha, but of breath meditation, maybe there's some steps, but after a while you can modify a bit, like you can experiment and see what works for you the best. And then, I mean, everyone's different, I guess. Indy is different from me, so we can never see eye to eye on that, but that's okay. As long as it works for you, I think that's okay.
But see, meditation is simple, but before you can meditate effectively, you have to have preparation. This preparation is you have to develop mindfulness first. Without mindfulness, you won't be able to sit still. Your mind keep running all over the place. But if you develop mindfulness before you sit, then you have control of your thought already enough, so that when you sit, your mind won't be running all over the place. Then you can focus on your meditation object and then enter into peace and happiness.
So the insights we are talking about, like, it's like more like a contemplation, but are the insights are just thinking or contemplation, or is just insight just pops up, something, some idea you never thought before, it pops into your mind, wow, why didn't I think of this before? Or you just have to think of anicca, dukkha, anatta, like a contemplate on like that?
Well, it doesn't, there's no fixed formula. Sometimes it just pop up. You say, yeah, I got it, Sometimes you have to think about it for many days before eventually you can get to the answer.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about is not about insight. I'm talking about.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the
You have
early
to,
stages.
before you can meditate, you have to have mindfulness first.
Sure.
Yes.
Preparation, yeah.
So you need to, this is the prerequisite to meditation. And in order to get mindfulness, you have to do mindfulness all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Constantly controlling your thoughts, stopping your thought by using a mantra or by focusing on your activity, your body activity. And this is the hard part. If you can do this, then the meditation will come easy.
Easy.
Some people who have already done this in the past life, have mindfulness already in the past life. They can sit and in 5 minutes they can enter into jhana right away.
As you practice, it happens.
But if you haven't have any mindfulness, you can be sitting there for years and years and you still haven't gone anywhere. So if you sit and meditate and you find that you cannot calm your mind, then it means you lack mindfulness. So you should focus more on the practice of mindfulness more. And you can do this all day long from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
It's a kind of, you have to remind yourself, like, okay, I'm in your mind, now you're mindless. Oh, lots of mindfulness.
Yeah. Am I focused on something, or am I just doing everything at the same time, eating and thinking about what I should do tomorrow and so forth?
Is it, I think there's a nice metaphor in the sutra, this person who looks after the cattle kind of dips into other people's property and starts eating their crops. So he has to, the person who looks after the cattle has to have a stick and always hit and just make sure the cattle doesn't eat. Yeah, he won't get in trouble. And eventually one fine day, he just doesn't, cattle is very well trained, and he sometimes just let the cattle roam around. He sleeps under a tree and that's all he does. Cattle is well trained. The mind at that stage, I believe.
But it takes time to do this training. Time and effort. You have to really put an effort to stop your mind from thinking by being focused on something like mantra or on your body.
The effort is the key, right? You have to have the
right effort.
Like to keep the effort constant. Sometimes we have the effort, suddenly we go away with the effort. Like sometimes we started, but it's to keep a constant effort. I think it's important. It's not easy, but can be done.
Especially you have to do it when you don't have to do any work. Because if you're working, you have to use your thought. You can stop using your thought. So you need to have no work, like live like a monk. Then that will be more productive,
easier, conducive. Yeah. So but we can use work as much as you can as a preparatory. Be mindful with my patients, with my wife, with my computer.
Okay.
Don't get into trouble. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Teruan Sarnai.
Okay. I'll go to Bangkok now to be Ravin.
Yes, Ravin, but it's fine, Ajahn. There are many ways to read my name. Yes, I was really glad to see you the last weekend. I haven't really had much chance to leave Bangkok as I'm quite busy with work. But I really liked this session so far. I was listening to how people tend to overcomplicate their lives, just with thinking what to do, being indecisive, so
because they want to have the cake and eat it too, you cannot. You have to take one or the other. If you want to keep the cake, then you cannot eat it. If you want to eat it, then you will lose the cake. But we tend to want them both, right? We want to be here, but we also want to go there.
Yes, we want everything, but in reality, we can't. So that's the problem. Prajan, I was doing some self-reflection when I do meditation. I find that whenever I eat less, especially during because I don't usually eat dinner, I find my mindfulness to be stronger than when after I've just finished a meal. Is this because eating makes the body kind of work harder to digest, and so we get drowsy and sleepy easier?
Well, you can tell it from your own experience. You don't have to ask me.
Yeah. I was just trying to link it to how I read in your book where you said you fasted for a week. Was that for the purpose of meditation?
Yes, because when you fast, you're creating dukkha, because your body becomes hungry and your mind starts to have cravings for food. And so you have to find some way to stop this craving. And meditation, mindfulness you can use mindfulness by focus on a mantra or something to stop your mind from thinking about food. Because if you normally eat, then you don't have the problem to stimulate your mindfulness. But when you have problem, then you have to use mindfulness to solve it. So it's a way of boosting your mindfulness practice and meditation. Because if you have a full stomach, you feel good, you don't need to do meditation. You rather sleep. You feel sleepy. You feel lazy. But when you're not eating, then you have problems. You're hungry. And how are you going to deal with this hunger? You cannot eat because you fast. And so you have to solve your hunger with your meditation. Because most of your hunger comes from your mind, comes from your craving, not from the body lacking the food. So once you can calm the mind down, you realize that the hunger from the body is very minimal. But it's the hunger from the mind that causes you a lot of stress. So this is a way of forcing you to do more practice. That's all. That's what fasting is supposed to do, to spur your practice of mindfulness and wisdom.
So it creates some sort of a problem, and then because we face a problem, we have to use mindfulness to solve the problem. We're not come out of the comfort zone.
That's right, because it's a mental problem, not a physical problem. We want to solve the physical problem. We know it's no problem. We create this problem just to create mental problem, and it's a mental problem that we want to solve. Stop the craving by either using mindfulness or wisdom. One way to use, if you want to use wisdom, you have to contemplate on the unpleasant nature of food. Don't think of the food on the plate. Think of the food in the bowl, in the towel, in the toilet bowl. Oh, this is the food. This is the food that I ate this morning or yesterday. If you can see the unpleasant nature of food, the unpleasant side of food, then your hunger will disappear right away.
Oh yes, that's true.
This is using wisdom.
Wow. I actually didn't think that far. I just thought of eating food, spitting it out, and I wouldn't want to eat it again. That's already not attractive.
That's bad enough, and not when it come out from the bottom of your body.
So it's the unattractive nature
Yeah.
of what
Unpleasant
food is.
side of food. The food has both sides. Everything has both sides, good and bad, right? The good side is when it's on the plate, when it's hot and delicious to eat. But when it comes and goes into the toilet bowl, then it's not something pleasant to eat.
No, it's not.
But if you want to practice meditation, vipassana, you have to look at both sides of the story, not just one side.
Yes. Yes. It's like both sides now. I have to listen to that song again.
Yeah, there's up and down, right? Good and
Yes.
bad. We only tend to look at the good things, so we become attached to them. But we never look at the bad side. If we can see the bad side, then we don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yes. And our kilesa doesn't want us to see the bad side as well. So that's another problem that I realize I have to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard to do without samadhi, without calm, because when the mind is not calm, your defilement is very strong.
Yes.
But when you calm the mind down, then your defilement become weakened. So it doesn't present an obstruction to your contemplation.
Yes.
If you don't have samadhi, if your mind is not calm, you don't want to contemplate on the unpleasant side of life, whether it's food or your body or anything.
It's very true, Prajay. Yes.
But we have to maintain a balanced view of things, right? Both sides, back and forth, in front and back.
Yes, Prajay. I will keep that in mind whenever I look at certain things.
Yeah, just for a few days, then you forget. Then you go back to your habit of looking at the good side only.
I have to meditate more.
You have to you have to keep doing it until it becomes a habit. Because your habit right now is to look only at the good side. You don't want to look at the bad side. Even death, you don't want to think about it, right? Do you think about death every day? The Buddha asked Ananda, how many times you think of death? Ananda said 3 or 4 times a day. The Buddha said, that's not enough. You're still deluded. In order for you not to be deluded, you have to think of it every breath, in and out breath. When I breathe in, when I don't breathe out, I die. When I breathe out and when I don't breathe in, I die. You have to think like this. Death should be always at the tip of your nose.
So that's where the mindfulness of breath becomes useful. We can see that if it stops, then we die.
Yes, this is just, but not the mindfulness of breath. You know, that's just using it as a reminder of death. But when you do mindfulness of breath, you want to calm your mind, to stop your mind from thinking. Then you don't want to think anything when you watch your breath. Just keep watching. So you can be confused with vipassana and samatha practice. Using the same object, but one is for samatha, one is for vipassana. If you want to use for vipassana, then you have to remind yourself that if you don't breathe, you die. But when you want to use it for samatha, you just watch the breath without thinking about dying or not dying, because you want to stop thinking. It's a different kind of practice, but using the same meditation object. So you have to distinguish, know the difference, and know what you're doing. Okay?
Yes.
Or else you might not get what you want. You want to calm your mind. You keep thinking about dying. and the mind never comes into calm, and maybe you become more restless because you're afraid of death.
So only after coming out of samatha samadhi, then we contemplate, when the mindfulness is at a more strength.
That also, but ideally you want to remember it all the time, not just only after you come out of meditation. Death will always accompany your mind all the time. Part of your thinking, it's going to be part of your whatever you think. You always think of death. Yeah. Not like people who think, "Oh, I'm going to build an empire," and forget that he's going to die. But as soon as you think of building an empire, you say you're going to die. So you say, "What's the point? Why do I have to go? Why do I want to go through all this effort, all for nothing? Because eventually I'm going to die anyway." If you have death as part of your thoughts, then you don't want to do anything. Only want to go to Nibbana. You don't want to do anything else.
Yes, just meditate.
You want to let go of everything, not building anything, not attaching yourself to anything, not accumulating anything. You want to give up everything. Because anything that you have will cause you dukkha.
Because we will lose it sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
And that means it doesn't belong to us. So that's the three characteristics of existence in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Prajan, thank you so much for your teachings. I will apply that to my daily life.
Okay, good. Then you might become a monk soon.
Hopefully, one day.
Not one day, soon. If you can contemplate on death every day, if that is part of your composition, your mental composition, then death will tell you what to do, and it will tell you to give up everything. Because everything that you have doesn't mean anything when you die.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, Prajan. Thank you so much.
Go to Ryan. Ryan from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. Got a question from a recent retreat I attended with Kok Sing. Essentially, one of the questions was, why did the Buddha put in the definition of right concentration the 4 jhanas? Because I find it to be so extremely hard to achieve. So essentially, I try to develop the Noble Eightfold Path, but actually I'm only just doing 7 because jhana it feels to me so far out of my reach. So why not put something easier? Like, I know in the Thai forest, the Kruba Ajahns use like Kanika Samadhi, Upachara, and Appana Samadhi. So why isn't that part of the formula for right concentration? And instead, the Buddha put something like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th jhana, which to me, I don't think I've ever achieved before.
The jhana and the Kanika and Appana Samadhi, they are the same things. When you're talking about Kanika, Appana Samadhi, you're talking about jhana.
Oh,
the 4th jhana, really.
Oh, okay. I think I must have misunderstood. I thought that only Appana Samadhi is the 1st jhana.
No, it's the 4th jhana. Kanika, Appana are 4th jhana. The difference is in duration. If it's a brief duration, it's called Kanika Samadhi. If it's a longer duration, it's called Appana Samadhi.
Oh, then what about Upachara Samadhi?
Upachara is another type of samadhi. After you enter into Wat jhana, you don't remain in there. You slip out and go into the spiritual realm and experience supernatural power or psychic power. Like you'll be able to contact with the spiritual beings, retrace your past life. This is the Upajjhara Samadhi, which is not good for meditation, not good for enlightenment. You want Appana Samadhi. Appana Samadhi will give you the strength to defeat your defilement, not Upajjhara Samadhi.
Oh, that's.
But unfortunately, for most meditators, no, they don't go. They cannot access Upajjhara Samadhi. Only a very special few that can access Upajjhara Samadhi. Maybe 5% of meditators will have this ability to access the Upajjhara Samadhi. But they are not useful for your enlightenment. They can only be useful after your enlightenment. Then you can use it as a tool to help other, like help the spiritual beings. You need to have this ability to connect with them, like the Buddha did. So we try not to go into Upajjhara Samadhi, even if we have the ability to. We want to keep the mind in Appana Samadhi, in jhana, by restraining the mind from slipping out into the Upajjhara level by using mindfulness. We want to strengthen the mind with ubekha or equanimity by remaining in the fourth jhana. The longer you remain there, the stronger the mind will become. And you need this strength to defeat your defilement when you come out from samadhi and use wisdom to stop your cravings, your defilement. If your mind is weak, you cannot stop the cravings, even if your wisdom tells you to do so. So you have to try, you have to do it, no matter how hard it is, you have to practice mindfulness and get into jhana. I think it's a lack of time of doing, not anything else. To do jhana, to get into jhana, you have to practice mindfulness all day long. And that's the problem with most people, most meditators. They don't have enough time to practice all day long, to practice mindfulness all day long. They just want to sit and meditate and get into jhana right away, which can never happen if you don't have enough mindfulness. In order for you to have enough mindfulness to get into jhana, you have to practice mindfulness all day long. You have to be able to stop your thinking all day long first before you can go and sit and meditate for jhana. So that's what makes it difficult for lay people. If you want to practice mindfulness, you have to become a monk. Then you won't have anything else to do but just practice mindfulness from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
Yes, I do think that it's extremely difficult as a lay person. I think if
you have to remember that the Noble Eightfold Path is taught to monks, not to lay people.
Oh.
Not taught to the 5 ascetics. They are monks.
I see.
The foundation of mindfulness is also taught to monks, not lay people. See? To lay people, we usually talk about dana, sila, and bhavana. Usually center more on dana and sila first. And bhavana, maybe just half an hour of sitting in meditation as a starter, that's all. But to really access the real samadhi, you need to be practicing full time, not just casual meditator. You have to be serious meditator.
I see. It makes me feel like you were using the analogy just now where learning meditation is like swimming. So I'm a casual swimmer, but I'm actually like trying to join the Olympics when I'm
That's right. You want to compete, and when you still haven't yet mastered your swimming. So you have to be content with whatever you can do right now. And if you want more, then you have to devote more time for developing mindfulness first. If you cannot develop mindfulness, you will not be able to succeed in meditation. Okay. We have one other participant, and we only have about 5 minutes left. Do you have anything else to ask?
No, that's all. Thank you, Ajahn. I'll reflect on what you said.
Okay. I'll go to Sulan, who always come in last, but not least. Always last, but not least.
Hello, Ajahn. Happy to see you. Yeah, I'll try to see you once a week when I can.
Good. Makes me happy every time I see you.
Oh, I also feel very happy to see you and also hearing your calming voice, sharing the Dhamma to us. Yeah.
Okay, you have any question tonight?
Yes. Just now I heard you mention about Amisa Pucha, which is doing charity. So yeah, that is something that I'm striving to do. Then yeah. I just want to ask, like, how much charity do we need to do as a laity?
The more the better.
The more the better.
Yeah. If you can give up your money to buy a new dress and give it to charity, that's better.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Okay. So you can do a lot of charity, but you have to sacrifice your own desire, your own cravings for things, which is the purpose of charity, to reduce your craving for things for yourself. Every time you want to go on a holiday, spend the money that you will spend on holiday on charity instead. Then eventually you won't have any cravings to go on a holiday anymore.
Oh, that's true.
But if you spend money on holiday this time, then there'll be another time later on you want to go on holiday again. But every time you want to go on holiday, you spend the money on charity. You don't go on holiday. Then after a few times, you don't feel like you want to go on a holiday anymore, because you find something better. You find giving to charity. You feel happier than going on holiday.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so try to do this. Every time you want to buy something non-essential that you don't need to have, then give the money away to charity instead.
Which also includes like buying things for people.
Anything for people, or charity, doesn't matter who the receivers are, as long as you give away what you're gonna spend on yourself instead and give it to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, I can try to do that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think we have to go to Kunjup now for some more questions from Facebook or YouTube or
Yes,
from email.
Yes. We have 4 questions. And the first question is from the assistant Gmail. It's from Charles from New York. Do we need to follow the 8 precepts to attain jhana, or is 5 precepts good enough?
It depends whether you're a serious or a casual meditator. If you're just a casual meditator, you can just keep the 5 precepts. If you're serious, then you should use the 8 precepts. But the precepts themselves don't get you into jhana. They only support your practice. What really get into jhana is mindfulness. So for some people, they might have mindfulness already from past life. So they don't need to keep the precept. As soon as they sit and meditate, they can enter into jhana right away. So the precept is just for those who haven't yet have any mindfulness, and they want to have the time to develop mindfulness first before they can enter into jhana.
The next question is from Facebook. It's from Hai Eng Yu. How do we prevent rites and rituals practiced by Buddhists in different cultures from hindering of spiritual development, as I notice certain rites and rituals are against the teachings of the Buddha?
Well, you just have to stick to the teaching of the Buddha, which is the law of karma. The Buddha said you're happy or sad not because you do a certain rites or ritual. You're happy or sad because of your good or bad karma.
The next question is from Metta Vandana. Ajahn, in Mahasi Sayadaw tradition, the rising and falling of the abdomen is practiced. It's used as a main object. Can Ajahn comment on that? Thank you.
It's the same practice as watching the breath and the tip of your nose. You only watch the breath and the abdomen. When you breathe in, your abdomen expands, rising. When you breathe out, your abdomen collapses, falling. So it's the same thing. It's anapanasati in a different position, different point, different place of focus. Instead of watching your breath and the tip of your nose, you watch the abdomen. That's all. It's still the same practice.
And the last question is from Nilmini. Venerable Ajahn, can you please explain last moment of the present life and how it's beginning to another life? Also, if the body and mind are empty, what will happen?
Last moment is when you don't breathe. When you stop breathing, when the body stops breathing, then the mind disconnects from the body and it becomes whatever it is at that moment. If it's a hungry ghost, it becomes a hungry ghost. If it's a happy spirit, it becomes a deva. So it's automatic right away. As soon as the mind disconnects from the body, it becomes what it has already become at that point. And I don't know what you mean by empty mind, empty body. So I have to skip that question.
That is all.
Okay. Okay, that's it for that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting can help you advance in your practice. And in the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Prasad.
Thank you Amit.
See you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Good night.